You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my special guest and good friend is Bill Watson from Aurora, Colorado. Bill, you've been a Craig Proctor member now for 20 years. Let's talk about introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and how we first met up.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Bill Watson, CEO of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the Watson Group. We're in Aurora, Colorado. We do handle the Denver metro area. And so I've been at this for 37 years now. And Craig, you and I actually met over a fax machine in 1998. And I got your marketing in a box. It's about the same time that I also got my website. And then in December of 2004, I decided to finally call you to get into coaching. And you said, that's great. Come to a conference. And so we did. We came to a conference the very first part of 2005. I think that one was down in Dallas. And I've been with you ever since. I've been one of your coaches as well since 2011. And we've never looked back. You know, it's interesting to note when my real estate career has been quite diverse. So I've always been in residential real estate. I've built about 40 houses. I've been the VP of Sales and Marketing for 2 home builders in Colorado. And in December of 2004, I parted with one of the builders I was with and decided I was going to get back in and build my real estate business. And I went right to you. And so that first year, kind of getting back into things, I think we had about 180,000 GCI. And then after we immediately started implementing everything you taught us, in 2006, our GCI jumped to 506,000. I was with RE/MAX at the time. I got the Chairman's Club Award for that, that they give out for that production. And we've never looked back. I mean, we're $1 million brokerage. And the thing is, and the thing that's so important is, you taught us how to market. There's no doubt about that. Direct response marketing is the key to this industry. Secondly, we've always been way ahead of the curve with what we do. So by the time the curve is here, we're so well prepared for it. It's not even funny. So having you as our business coach, our business development, business building coach for the last now 18, 19 years has been absolutely remarkable.
Now, you talk about the importance of marketing. Obviously, every real estate agent has a real estate license, but they don't understand marketing. And we have to realize that marketing is the whole ballgame. You're a marketer first before you're a real estate agent. And I didn't realize that when I first got into the business. I thought, if I'm a hardworking agent and I know all the rules, I know how to fill out the paperwork, and I really care about my clients and I do a good job, that should be enough. I should be successful. But nobody knew who I was. And that's the biggest battle that real estate agents fight, is either nobody in their marketplace knows who they are, or if they do, they don't understand, the prospects don't understand the difference between you and all the other real estate agents. So that's what we work on, is we work on how to promote yourself, how to get your community to understand what makes you different and better, and not just generate leads, because you can buy leads. I mean, you can buy leads from Zillow or Realtor, and they're not really leads at all because they don't know who you are when you call them, and they didn't ask you for anything, right? It's just basically scraped information. So the difference between our type of lead generation is when they contact you, they know who you are. They know what makes you, different. They know what makes you better. And our best, inquiries are, come and list my house. Give us some examples of some of the marketing that Craig Proctor marketing that you would be running to accomplish those goals, to get somebody that wants to buy or sell to contact you versus even talking to any other real estate agents.
Well, so there's a first thing, the marketing that you taught us is direct response. And it's designed to provide offers that are so compelling that people will call to learn more and discuss. It's interesting that you said, because what we tell people is that we're a marketing company. It just so happens that real estate is the
Absolutely. You're a marketing company that's disguised as a real estate brokerage.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And so what are they? Well, our unique selling proposition is your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. In the unlikely event that your home doesn't sell, we'll go ahead and buy it from you. We've done this since 2005. This is not a smoke and mirrors program by any stretch of the imagination. And the great thing about it is it provides certainty in what is continually becoming even more uncertain world to live in.
And, you know, Bill, I was reading something the other day. There's a higher and higher percentage of homeowners that don't like the traditional way of getting their home sold, that would prefer, you know, an instant cash offer, hence the rise of all the iBuyer companies. Well, we were the original iBuyer company. I mean, you and I go back over 20 years. What's better about the guarantee that you give to sellers than any offer they would receive from an iBuyer company is if you sell the homeowner's home for higher than the upfront price that is given to the seller in writing, if you sell it for more money to an outside buyer, the homeowner always gets the highest price. That's not true with an iBuyer company. Whatever price they give you, it's usually heavily discounted. It's the price you have to live with. If they sell it a week later to somebody else for a lot more money, the poor homeowner feels like they left money on the table. So there's certainty with this offer. There's convenience. And now the homeowner that has a guarantee, an upfront written guarantee from you, can go out and buy their next home without the stress and worry of getting stuck owning two homes.
Or none at all.
Or none at all, yeah. So the other option, you know, for the last hundreds of years in real estate, the other option is, well, if I don't want to risk getting stuck, you know, buying my next home before selling my existing home, if I don't want to risk owning two homes, the other option was I could sell my existing home first and then scramble around and try to find a house. Well, in most marketplaces across the country, we have limited inventory. So that's pretty risky because, Bill, like you just said, you could end up homeless. And we see that happen a lot where people sell their home and thinking, oh, the right home will come on the market. And they end up settling for a home that really isn't, you know, the right home for them. So you have solved a problem in the marketplace where buyers can move up, they can buy any one of your listings, and you'll actually take their house in trade. You'll give them an upfront written guarantee that if you haven't sold their home for at least the upfront written agreed amount, that you will buy it yourself. And if they get a superior offer from an outside buyer, if you sell it for more money to somebody else, they always get the benefit of the higher offer.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a difference did that make to your business when you started doing that?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, you know, when you drive around our major market area, we have 50 bootlegs out on the weekend that talk about our guaranteed sale plan. We have just about every bus bench that talks about our guaranteed sale plan. You know, when you walk into the major grocery store that gets 50,000 people a day walking through it, our guarantee is there. We're on every single cart. I mean, people see us and walk around and say, you know, we just see you everywhere. And I think, Craig, the important thing to note here is that the offers that we make from the marketing perspective are designed for the benefit of our client, not for us, right? And that's the thing to remember. So for instance, when we take a listing and our sign writer says, buy this home and we'll buy yours, all of our marketing in the MLS says, buy this home and we'll buy yours. How that benefits the seller is that 80% of the people in our marketplace have a home to sell, which now makes their home stand out, which now makes it easier to buy. Where an average agent can only talk to 20% of the market, I'm able to have conversations with people who otherwise may not have even called or had interest in a home, but because of our offer, we've corrected that direct response back to us to see if we create a sale.
Now, that's a really good point. Everyone understand where Bill is going with this is when, you know, we're taught to advertise ourselves. You know, I'm Bill, I'm a great guy. I've been in real estate for X amount of years. I really care about your business. The minute you started saying, hey, this is Bill Watson, your home sold or we'll buy it. People started to call you because of what you offered, not Bill the person, but because they wanted what Bill is offering. The other thing that we're taught to do as realtors, in addition to advertising ourselves, call me, I'm a great person, is we're taught to advertise our listings. And we know how that goes, realtors, right? What percentage, if you get an ad call or a sign call, what percentage of the buyers, once you give them the information, say, oh my God, that's the house of my dreams, versus what percentage of them tell you it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location or whatever, and want to hang up the phone on you? Obviously the latter. So that's the great thing about offering a service versus advertising yourself or advertising one of your listings, because it's something that everybody wants. Now, Bill, we'll have thousands of realtors watching this interview.
Mhm.
We're going to have some realtors that have preconceived notions about the guaranteed sale program.
Mhm.
So they perhaps might say, well, this is a bait and switch. This is not a real thing. This is some kind of scam. They buy the home for way less than market value. So let's address some of those points. First of all, bait and switch is something I hear quite a bit. Now, look at the example I just cited. Every real estate agent in the country who advertises their listings, we could accuse them of bait and switch, because we know it's a fact that the vast majority of ad calls and sign calls you get on your listing are not going to buy that property. You know that. You know when you hammer the sign in the front lawn or you run advertisements for any of your listings, any inquiries you get, probably 9 out of 10 of them are going to tell you it's the wrong property. Now, what do? Well, here's what we've been trained to do. Remember, the second that the buyer eliminates the property, they also want to eliminate you, because they see you as, an interchangeable commodity. So let's say the buyer calls in on your property, Bill, and you tell them it's a 3-bedroom, and they're, oh, I'm sorry, Bill, I want a 4-bedroom. I'm sure when you were new in the business, what happened is you got a dial tone, right? They're like, oh, okay, well, you can't help me. So, I think we'd all agree here, realtors, that we realize this early on in our career, that the buyer hardly ever buys the property they call us on. So we learn the art of call conversion. So it sounds something like this. I call Bill about his listing. He tells me it's a 3-bedroom and I want a 4-bedroom. And Bill would say something like, well, Craig, what are you looking for? In hopes that I tell him what I'm looking for. So Bill can now tell me about other homes that he knows of, perhaps not homes that he has, but other homes that Bill knows of that would match my criteria. So that might sound something like this. Well, gee, Craig, you're looking for a 4-bedroom over in the northeast part of town. Our brokerage has 4, or there's a few I see here. Maybe they're homes on MLS, but you would switch the buyer onto the appropriate homes. Now, everyone think about that. So I could accuse every realtor in the country of baiting the buyers with their listing, knowing they're not going to buy it, and then switching them on to a home that does match their criteria. So we got to get rid of this inaccurate thinking about bait and switch. Look, this is what marketing is about. Here's what we're guilty of. We're guilty of offering something that buyers and sellers really love. It's the guaranteed sales program. Now, as a realtor, you have to let your own personal feelings about this, just set it aside for a minute, because it doesn't really matter what you personally think about the guaranteed sale program. I'll tell you, buyers and sellers in Aurora, Colorado, and all over the country love the program. Okay, it removes the risk. Why do you think there were tens of thousands of homes that were purchased by iBuyer companies? This is not something people don't want. It's something that people want, and it's becoming more popular. Now, Bill, if we step out of real estate for a minute and we look at the new car industry, if new car dealerships didn't take your used car in trade, if you couldn't trade up, then it would be very, very difficult, inconvenient to buy a new car. We all accept the fact that if we trade in our car, the dealership's going to pay us probably a little bit less than we could sell the car for on our own, but it's an accepted thing. And that's what most new car buyers would do. They would drive in with their old car, take in the trade-in value, and it would be credited towards the purchase price, and they drive home in their brand new car. So buyers and sellers want convenience. They don't like risk. Now, this works in a couple different ways. Let's say, Bill, you get to my house and you realize that I'm not staying in Colorado at all. I'm moving out of the country. And perhaps I called you on the guaranteed sale program, and I might say, well, so I guess this doesn't work for me, Bill, because I'm moving out of state. I'm not moving up and buying one of your listings. Explain to everybody how you would handle that.
So, we do have conditions with this, and the way that I would handle that on the initial phone call is simply like this. What I need to do is I need to take a look at your home first. When's a good time for me to come by and take a look at it?
This is very important. When you get inquiries about how does it work or what will you buy my home for, the answer is when can we come and have a look at your home? Now, if I get to Bill, if Bill gets to my house, he looks around my house and he determines at that point that I'm not buying a home inside of his marketplace, then I don't qualify for the guarantee in the fact that he's going to buy my home. However, Bill could say to me, hey, Craig, if you list your home with me, it'll make your home a lot more marketable or saleable, because if you list with me, this sign rider that's going to go on top of the for sale sign says, move up to this home, we'll buy your home for cash. Bill could say, Craig, I am so motivated to get your home sold that I'll actually guarantee the purchaser's home. So you get a cash offer. You've got a nice, whatever, $2 million home here. It's probably not going to be purchased by a first-time buyer. So we know that likely 100% of the buyer prospects for your home already have a house to sell. So even though Bill is in this situation, this example, is not guaranteeing my house, he's guaranteeing to buy the purchaser's home, meaning I get a cash offer and I can move out of state and I can get on with my life. If they're speaking to other realtors, Bill could say, I understand you're speaking to a couple of other realtors. The other two realtors you're speaking with, did they offer to buy the purchaser's home to get your property sold? So you get a cash offer. So you carry a pretty big stick, Bill, when you're offering these types of guarantees. I hear this a lot, and I know this was true for you. The minute you started running these types of performance guarantees, your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it, or move up to any one of our listings and we'll buy your home for cash, guaranteed sold, your business changed overnight. It was almost like it's almost like you were in a completely different business at that point.
Yeah, there's no question about it. 2005 too, Craig, you taught us marketing, and you taught us the way to build a business and how to build a team. And in 2005, that just wasn't happening. We're probably one of the first companies to really get into team building and to make that happen. But in 2005, we were still doing print advertising in the Rocky Mountain News and Denver Post. I can remember being at the conference, talking with my ad rep at the newspaper, buying remnant space and getting half page and full page ads advertising your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. And it changed literally. By the time I got back into town, it changed overnight. The other thing is that we have things to talk about. We have reasons for people to sit down with us to talk about what we do. Now here's the thing. The thing is, and you brought up a great point. So if someone calls and they give me enough information, the first conversation is always, look, I'm looking forward to discussing this with you. When's a good time for me to come by and take a look at your home? Now, once I get to the home and I discern that they don't qualify, and our terms are very simple. Seller and Bill must agree on price and terms. I mean, that is the condition of what has to happen.
So the sellers actually want the guarantee more than you want to give it. You've got the leverage.
Yeah, there's no question.
Let's talk. Okay, you talked about you've been with me for 20 odd years. You've been in real estate for 43 years. We're talking about all the changes that have happened, especially over the last 5 years or since the pandemic, for sure. Talk about, we were using print advertising, of course, but talk about how you've transformed your marketing to online and how you've created omnipresence in Aurora, Colorado?
So our marketing is very robust. We do have a marketing director, and we have a strong omnipresence on the social media side. Our Google pay-per-click and our Google and our SEO is becoming stronger all the time. You know, here's the interesting thing about marketing is we used to try to decide the message to go out to the consumer, and now we're trying to figure out what the search terms are that the consumer's using and market right to those search terms. And then still, but here's the thing, Craig, the offers don't change. Everything still has to be handled in a direct response. We still do a lot of direct mail with our direct response marketing. So we have a multimedia approach to the marketing that we do to the marketplace. We have a quarterly newspaper that goes out. We have all of our omnipresence. We have all of our Facebook marketing. We have all of our SEO. We have all of our media blitzes, and we have everything that happens in order to create this higher awareness. The other thing that we started doing months ago, which we're excited about now, is geofencing with, along with retargeting and remarketing on the geofencing side. And we're not just geofencing our product, we're geofencing open houses of our competitors. We're geofencing everything that we can geofence in order to, because here's the thing, we're using the market to leverage our business. And that's the mistake realtors make. Realtors get a house and all they want to do is sell the house. We know we're going to sell the house, but we're also leveraging the house in order to expand our business space to have more people to provide this remarkable service to.
Give us some examples of other innovative things you're doing. So, we focused on the guaranteed sale program, and of course that caused such a huge explosion in new business that you created your team, and now you've got your wife, you've got your sons. It's a real family business. You've made this thing so huge that no one person could handle all the buyers and sellers. Now, you said you've been in real estate for 43 years. You've seen all these changes come along. How do you keep up to date, or actually ahead of the curve, because you always are ahead of the curve, versus people that just got their real estate license a year or two and are maybe more comfortable with social media, and they hear you talking about print and they're like, oh my God, these guys used to do print advertising, but you still do today. And I think this is the important thing that realtors, especially those of you that have not had your license that long, this still works today. We are all over social media. Like, check out Bill Watson, go to his Facebook page, go to his business page, go to Instagram. Okay. You can go to LinkedIn, you can find him everywhere online, but he still does a lot of direct mail, which I know some of you may sniff at, snail mail. But the reason we do these things is not because, we're stuck in our old ways. It's because the numbers still work. And we do want to have as Bill said, a multi-layered approach where we are everywhere the consumers are going to be. So, sometimes we'll have maybe someone challenge us on print, and we'll ask them, well, do you still get your mail? Well, of course you do. Okay. Whether you want to or not, there's mail you like to get, mail you have to open. And so the mailbox is a good place to go. Tell us about your direct mail program, because it has been robust since I've met you, and you haven't backed off, but you've added other online approaches as well. Give me an example of what you would mail out and how many you would mail and the frequency.
So when we get a listing, we have a just listed card. And, Craig, to this point about direct mail, here's what's great about it. Nobody direct mails anymore. So my cards are 6x11, and they are alone in the mailbox. Like, nobody competes with me in the mail side of this. So it's like a lone audience that you get. And what we do is we hit every door direct mailings when it's just listed. When the house goes under contract, an under contract card goes out.
Right.
And then when the house sells, 3 cards go out in 2-week increments, along with slide dial voicemails to to let people know about this. So it even adds a multimedia piece there. All of our pieces have the Your Home Sold Guaranteed or We'll Buy It on it. It has QR codes to take them to our website, and our cards make 4 or 5 additional offers that, hey, if you're not ready to sell, text your address to us and we'll get you a value. You'll receive a text, not a phone call, right? And the other thing that we do is we have performance guarantees, and we do some of that in our direct mail. And that is your home sold at 100% of market value, we'll pay you the difference. Everything we do puts our money where our mouth is, which, the rest of our business just simply does not do. So let me ask you, if you get a card like that, wow, 100% of market value, or I'm going to pay you the difference. Am I worth a conversation? Yeah, I'm worth a conversation.
Right. The marketing has to be, the marketing just has to be good enough to get them to call you. And it is getting way more difficult to reach people, prospects on the phone if you're making outbound calls to them. So the real secret with your marketing is you get inbound calls. You get the buyers and sellers to pick up the phone and call you.
Right.
So you don't have to chase them around.
We closed 3 deals in March. We've been doing expired marketing, all direct mail, since about 2016, and haven't stopped. It is a robust direct mail program that we do. And 3 of our closings last month were from that. And at the end of the day, it's going to turn out to be about $60,000 in GCI from a direct mail program, in 1 month. And the thing to note about this, here's the great thing about this, is that during what I call the asterisk years, 2020 and 2021 in real estate, everybody in my market, even everybody in other markets, were saying, well, I'm not marketing for expireds. I mean, my goodness, there's no expireds. Right. And I said, in my market, great, don't. Because we still did close to $200,000 in GCI on the expired market. It was in what was probably the one market that I've been in the last 37 years where I thought every house would sell, and that wasn't the case. You made an interesting point, and people that are on this meeting need to understand is that marketing, the minute that you say in your mind, I would never market that way because I would never ... You are no longer a marketer. You are nothing but somebody who's running your business based upon your own ideologies that will never allow you to be successful as possible. What you have to understand is, what is the conversation at the dinner table in the marketplace, and how do you answer that conversation? That's how you market.
Yeah, well said. And there are so many realtors that you and I have met over the years that are closed-minded to approaches that would really work for them. Bill, one of the things that you and I have heard many, many times over the years, I wish we had a nickel for every time we've heard this, is before a realtor actually will even give this a thought, they immediately go to, my marketplace is different.
Right.
That won't work for me. My broker won't let me do it. Yeah. I couldn't afford to get stuck with all these homes. It's funny that although on the surface, every realtor says, I want to succeed, I want to be successful, I want to offer my buyers and sellers, my clients, what they truly want. But there's such an old paradigm in real estate. I mean, you've been doing this for 43 years. You've seen how much the industry's changed. And not only do individuals have paradigms are just other people's habits, but entire industries have old paradigms. Look at all the change that you've witnessed over the last 43 years. When you began in real estate, we were carrying around MLS books, right? And you got a new one every couple of weeks, and it had one black and white picture of the property, right? There was no online information. Real estate agents were the purveyors of secret information. In fact, Bill, if you remember back in the day, we were afraid to loan our MLS book out to a buyer because then you were out of business, right? You had nothing. So the business has come such a long way. However, there's certain things that haven't changed. There's certain things in this industry that are evergreen, that have not changed. Things that we're still doing today that just work as well as they did 20, 30, 40 years ago. And I would say it's easier today to be successful and be more efficient with the technology, the systems, the type of social media marketing that we have at our fingertips. So my recommendation to everybody is keep an open mind. You see, Bill's mentioned direct response marketing a few times. With direct response marketing, we try to set our opinions aside. You know, there's been several times over the years, Bill, where you and I have worked on a project and we're like, well, I don't know if this is going to work, but we don't really care about our opinion. We test it, right? And we let the response that we get from the marketplace dictate what we're going to continue to do and what we're not going to continue to do. And so some of you will be watching this, you'll be curious about Bill's approach. First of all, he's still going strong. He's 43 years into his real estate career. He's built his own business, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty in Aurora, Colorado. Everyone in the city knows who he is. He's brought on his 2 sons, his wife. It's a family business. He has no plans on slowing down, because this is what people need to understand. When you love what you do, it doesn't appear to be work. So standing in front of you here, Bill Watson doesn't need to be here today, doesn't need to be interviewed by me today, doesn't need to sell another home. You know, he could go to the golf course or whatever he wants to do. But I wish that everyone on this call finds their thing, hopefully here in real estate. So you've got a long, illustrious career like Bill Watson. Bill Watson is innovative. He's competitive. He loves the game of real estate. And every day you want to wake up in real estate and you want to make real estate a game worth playing, not only for yourself, but your team members, right? If you've got a team or you want to have a team, you've got to inspire and motivate and make your real estate business fun for you and for them every single day. Now, the focus with all of this is on the customer experience. Okay, you're going to get everything you want by focusing on what it is that buyers and sellers want. Now, I know in the beginning, it's really tough. It's difficult to focus on what the customers want when you're scraping by and you're trying to take care of your own financial needs. But Bill's done that. Bill did that a long, long time ago. A lot of realtors will look at Bill and say, well, what keeps the guy going? If he's got more money than he can ever spend as long as he's on this planet, why bother doing it? Because he loves it. It's like a game. It's, you know, when I was a kid, we used to play Monopoly, and I didn't make real money playing Monopoly, but I liked the game. So for those of you that are watching this, and you're still watching this, we're a half an hour into it, obviously it tells us something about you. You're interested in marketing. You're interested in business. Bill and I have had deep conversations about business strategies. We like it. We like, you know, when there's a problem, most people freak out. We like to look at the problem and analyze it and understand that a problem really sometimes is just an opportunity in disguise. And so for over 20 years, Bill Watson and I have been exchanging emails and ideas and meetings, going to Craig Proctor conferences, sometimes up to 6 times a year. We would get together with hundreds and sometimes thousands of our members. And Bill is a regular panelist. He'll come up and he'll share his success, always available in the hallway at the conference or to help you and give you advice, as he's doing here today. So he's an inspiration to everybody inside of Craig Proctor world. And I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to introduce Bill to even more people here today. Now, Bill is also a coach for my organization. So in addition to building his team and taking care of his family and doing a great job in Aurora, Colorado, he shares all this wisdom as a Craig Proctor coach. Now, I don't pay Bill near what he could make if he just was selling real estate. So believe me, Bill is not a Craig Proctor coach because it's some kind of, windfall. We do compensate him, but honestly, he could make a lot more money if he just focused his time on selling real estate. He helps other people because he likes to help other people. And that's a big reason for why he's successful. Now, as Bill's business continues to grow, I want to give a shout out to anybody watching, any realtor watching this in Aurora, Colorado. Obviously, you know Bill. You might see him as a competitor. You might have even heard like bad things about him because, you know, the guy that's at the top of the industry, sometimes the other realtor is like, oh, he's not a very nice guy. Well, that's just not true. You can see that. If you know Bill, you spend a few minutes talking to them, you'll see he's very genuine. If you partnered up with Bill, this is the most outrageous deal in real estate. Do you know that Bill pays for all the marketing and advertising? The leads come into his inside sales team. His inside sales team calls all the leads, qualifies the buyers and sellers, and sets up appointments for you, the realtor. If you were to work on Bill Watson's team, if you were to partner up with him, you literally don't do anything except for get signatures signed, witnessed. You're not signing them, you're witnessing them. So you're meeting with buyers and sellers. The appointments are set up for you. So here's how this deal would work. You might say to Bill, hey, I only want to work 30 hours this week. You would close your calendar out. Thursday night, you want to be with your family or whatever. You don't want to work on Saturday, but whatever your calendar is open, Bill's team is going to schedule listing appointments and buyer appointments. Now it gets better than this. Bill spends an enormous amount of time before he hires somebody, making sure that this is going to work for both you and him. Then he trains you forever. Okay, he trains you forever on how to do a better and better and better job when you meet with the buyers and sellers, how to present the buyer benefits and the seller benefits. Now, sure, there's a vested interest. I mean, the more money you make, the more money Bill Watson makes. So, you know, that's why he's going to spend a lot of time with you. But you both work together, you do a much better job for the client. So imagine if this is true. Imagine if you were part of Bill Watson's team. Let's talk about all the stuff you don't have to do. You don't have to pound a sign in the lawn. You don't have to get the keys cut at Home Depot. You don't have to install the key box. You don't have to take the pictures of the house. You don't have to make the feature sheets. You don't have to do any of the administrative stuff. I'm going to repeat it again. All you do is make money. Okay. And the more money you make, the more money Bill makes, and everybody's happy. So if you would like to have a conversation with Bill Watson about how his team works for you, and this is bottom line, how it would work for you. 3 things. I promise you, you would make more money, you would have more time, and you would have more freedom in your life. Now, isn't that why we got into real estate? Isn't that why we got into real estate in the first place? Now, maybe it's not for you. Maybe, you know, your number one thing is like ego. I want to have my own name on the sign or whatever. Yeah, this position would not be for you if your number one motivator is, making less money, working harder, but having a huge ego. This is about you having more time and a bigger bank account. Okay, this is about more freedom, which again is why most people get into real estate in the first place. So, Bill, how can realtors reach you if they're curious, if they live in Aurora, Colorado, or maybe they live anywhere in the country and they just want to, they've enjoyed our interview here today and they want to maybe reach out to you and connect? What would be the best ways to do that?
Just give me a call. Call our office at 720-463-0002. Again, that's 720-463-0002. Or they can send me an email at bill@watsonrg.com, bill@watsonrg.com, and go check out our website at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty CO.com. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty CO.com.
And, Bill, I'll have them drop all your contact information below our interview here today so people can check it out. It's interesting how many real estate agents talk about how much they gross or how little they gross. And sometimes, what they net is even more gross than what they gross. I was talking to a real estate agent that made $100,000. They were bragging about making $100,000 a year. But when we broke it down, after all the expenses, their split and everything they were paying for, that realtor was only making about $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they were working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then we broke it down to what they were making per hour. And then the weird hours and being on call and being available 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to this gentleman about what he did before he got into real estate. Well, before this guy got into real estate, he was making $80,000 a year net. He had a company car. He had 4 weeks of paid vacation. The company that he worked for provided him all the leads and appointments. He didn't have to pay for any of the marketing. The company did. And he was making $100,000 a year. So when we broke this down, he got kind of quiet and he realized that he'd actually, he's going in the wrong direction here. Yeah, he actually was working way harder, and he kind of wished for his old job back. But real estate doesn't have to be that way. I mean, you've been in all these different places, Bill. You've been, the solo agent working 7 days a week. I mean, you're a worker. You know how to work. And you've been, the starving to death real estate agent. You've been the overwhelmed solo agent where, oh my God, I can't handle all this. And then you started your team. And in the beginning, like all of this, it's like, well, how do I do this? How do I recruit people? How do I, train them? What's the orientation look like? If we don't show them in the beginning how this should work with good training and good orientation, we're destined to fail. So all these mistakes and learning along the way to now you've really got this thing drilled down, right? You know who you're looking for. You know exactly how to coach them up and train them to be a selling machine for the Bill Watson team. We're literally just going out and making money all day long.
Craig, we have a complete university, Your Home So Guaranteed Realty University, along with the experiential knowledge that we have within the company based upon the systems that have been provided. And, I think about back when we built the team in 2005, we had your team systems manual. It was the greatest manual ever to go right to it. The training that you get here, you're not going to get it anywhere else. I'm sorry. You're just not going to get it anywhere else.
Yeah, but doesn't every brokerage say that, Bill? Every brokerage I've everyone who's recruiting always says that to agents. Oh, if you come over here, we've got awesome training. Our training's the best. And of course, most of you that have heard those empty promises, you're kind of underwhelmed by the fact that there is no training or it's very ineffective training. How do you train them? Why is this the real deal? Why is this training better than the training that every other real estate office in Aurora, Colorado promises?
Well, okay, so let's start from the very beginning. First of all, if anybody wants just to come and meet with me, I can show them our training, and they're going to see that it's exceptional. It's unlike anything they're going to see. I don't care which company that they interview with. The other thing is it's very, very extensive, and what's nice about it is they're 10, 12, 15-minute modules that are watched regularly. We have Friday training every day for understanding buyers, understanding sellers. I mean, Craig, you said it in the beginning, the training doesn't stop. And quite honestly, in the real estate industry, the training can't stop because we're in an industry that is in a constant change of flux. The way consumers act today, right? We have better engagement with people over text. I can remember when I was a kid, when the phone rang, my brother and I would race to the phone to see who could answer it first. If someone came to the door and rang the doorbell back in the 1960s, you ran to the door to see who was there. Now, the phone rings, I look at the phone and go, I don't know, I don't recognize the number. If it's important, they'll leave me a voicemail. The doorbell rings, I look on my Nest. I want to see who's at the door.
Which those two things pretty much wipe out the whole concept of traditional prospecting, right? When you got into the business, they're like, well, it's about phone cold calls and door knocking. And those two things really have been obliterated. I mean, it's not a thing anymore. So the marketing, people won't pick up the phone, but ironically, you're inside their phone. The crazy thing is your phone here today is used for everything except for making phone calls. If you think about what's on your phone, Bill, you've got your emails on your phone. You've got your calendar on your phone. You've got your weather on your phone. You've got your notes on your phone. Everything you want in your life is on your phone, including social media. So these prospects that will not pick up the phone, which is most of them, because a lot of prospects have their phone set up, like my son has his phone set up, that if you are not inside his contacts, the phone won't even ring. You can call him as many times as you want. He doesn't see it on his side. So being where they are, which is inside their phone, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, wherever the buyers and sellers are, that's where we're going to be.
Yeah.
And we're going to be
have an
there with the right
extensive
message.
YouTube channel as well. We even talk about YouTube. Our YouTube channel is extensive.
Yeah, which we are streaming this on YouTube right now. So yeah, your YouTube it's been huge for you. Now, you're creating content on a regular basis? I mean, your new role basically is Bill Watson, the content creator.
Yeah, we're creating content on a regular basis. We're waiting for the editing to come back on our listing presentation. We've just shot 9 new videos. Craig, we're working on a lot of shorts. So we're working on a lot of shorts right now that are being edited that we're going to start pushing out as well. And here's I think here's what it is. You turned us on to Dan Kennedy, and Dan Kennedy has the no BS trust marketing. People want to see us as human beings. They want to know that we're competent in what they're doing, but we have to make marketing offers that create a response that solves their issues and their problems so that we can create certainty in what they need to get done. And that's the difference in the marketing that we do. Here's the great thing about it. Back when I met you, man, I mean, it was the newspaper.
Yep.
So
newspaper, it was all print. It was newspaper, direct mail.
In 1990,
TV, radio. We did TV. We did radio.
Yeah, I did
billboards,
TV
outdoor
with
signage. Yep.
In 1995, AOL came out with an MS-DOS based MLS system that I started to use in my listing presentations. Now, this was before you and I met, and it reached maybe 70,000 people, 80,000 people. And this got so much attention that the Rocky Mountain News did a 2-page spread on me saying that I was trailblazing the internet highway. Now, that was 1995. Now, with
so you're kind of like Al Gore then.
I almost invented the internet. And then the other thing is that now Google reaches 79.9 billion, Facebook reaches 25 billion, Zillow reaches 275 million a month. We have marketing engines out there to expand our marketing reach in ways that, and for a fraction of the cost of what it used to cost, to have to do those things. So it's an exciting time, to be in this and to be involved in this industry, just because of all the marketing opportunities and the way that we can expand our message. And I would tell everybody on this, look, I'm not looking to hire everybody, right? I'm looking for those people that if they looked at our company, they said, wow, this has got some legs. I would really like to be a part of this. And so it's going to be me interviewing them more than them interviewing me.
Right.
But here's what I'm confident of. Business building team we have behind this with you and Todd, the whole system, the education, the sales training, but beyond that, the marketing that we do, the services that we provide, and everything else. We're only here for one reason. We're here to be successful in the real estate business. It's our full-time gig. This is not a second career for me, nor is it a part-time. The average agent sells 4 deals a year, Craig. We've talked about that. I mean, that's what our industry is. And here's the thing. I started selling real estate. The interest rates were 12%. In 2021, we saw interest rates in the 3s. Within a very short period of time, they went to the 7s, and none of us panicked at our company. We didn't panic.
Yeah, we're not even at the 30-year average, and people are freaking out. But it's just because of the change from 3% to 7 or whatever. Hey, you and I are getting together in 8 days in Anaheim, California. There'll be hundreds and hundreds of Craig Proctor members there, all the way from your home sold, guaranteed realty, broker owners. We get about 150 of them. We'll have our titanium members, our platinum members, our coaching members. What do you like about the conferences? Because you hardly miss one. I don't know how many you've missed in 20 years.
2.
2 in 20 years. And that would be 2 out of how many? How many conferences do you think? Yeah, you've been to okay, so everyone, we've done 102. approximately since Bill's been a member. He's missed 2 out of 102. That's pretty good track record.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal about getting together at these meetings? Why not just like do stuff over Zoom? That's what we were programmed to do during the pandemic. Why? What's the benefit of, I'm flying in 5 hours on a plane. You're flying in from Aurora, Colorado. I guess you fly in from Denver, I assume, to get to Anaheim. Why? What's the attraction with these Craig Proctor conferences after you've been to 100 of them? Why keep coming to them?
Well, first of all, the information is always relevant for the time. I mean, this Anaheim conference and what we're going to be talking about and discussing, I just cannot wait to get there. But here's the thing: it's the people, right? It's the Nathan Clarks, the Tracy Kings, the Scott Caldwells, the Shelley Salas. It's you have to understand that the people that attend this are very serious about their real estate businesses. And it's in the conference is one thing, man, it's the conversations that we have outside the conference that is absolutely amazing. And you know what, Craig, I've got to tell you, I've never been in anything like this to where I can reach any of the members that I've become friend with at any time, even within the state of Colorado. And we continue to share what's working, what's not working. Hey, what do you think about this? It's a community. And I know that term sometimes gets used that way, but the point is, if you embrace this, you take in the conference, then you get to spend time with people that are really working it and making it happen. You learn even more, and you walk away so enriched that you can't wait to get back to your marketplace and start implementing new things again.
Everyone you mentioned makes millions and millions of dollars. There's hundreds and hundreds of houses, and you've got these great business and personal relationships, which is really, really cool. It's a culture that we've worked really hard to build on. And, I always joke around that our members come to the conference to see each other, not Craig anymore. But look, it's really flattering that we have members for 15 and 20 years, hundreds and hundreds of them coming back and never missing a conference. So, and it gives everyone newer inside the Craig Proctor system someone to look up to. And, you talked about after the conference, that's sometimes our best learning. We call that the second seminar that happens at the bar at the end of every day, because when you're newer in the business and you hear of some of the advanced things that you guys are doing, the natural tendency is to think, well, I can't do that, or they're different, or my market's different. I'm going to encourage all of you that are coming to the conference, just find somebody that you connect with inside at the Craig Proctor conference that's a little bit further ahead of you. That's all. You don't need to find somebody. If you're selling 20 homes a year, you don't need to be trying to figure out how to sell 500 homes a year. You should be trying to find somebody that's selling 40 or 50 homes a year. They're a little bit further ahead in the Craig Proctor curve than you are. And all the thoughts or insecurities or whatever we have, once you start to talk to dozens or hundreds of people that are doing the thing that you want to do, you start to believe like there's no reason they should be able to do it, and I should be able to do it too. And that's a big, it's normal, I guess, but it's a big Rubicon. We want you guys to get on the other side of this belief system that yes, you can do this. You can have the same success as everybody else is having. So Bill, I look forward to seeing you here. I guess we better wrap this up, but I look forward to seeing you a week from now. As well. I'll be flying in and with Catherine, and we're going to have another great event. I'm working hard. I got so much to do to prepare for this thing. So I always get a little freaked out ahead of these, but head down for the next week. I will see you in Anaheim, California. We'll have some great times. We'll have some laughs. We'll get to see everybody, and we'll do some serious learning. So I want to thank everybody for watching this. I know we went a bit longer here today, but I love talking to Bill. Bill's, one of the longest standing Craig Proctor members. He's been in the business for 43 years. Always a pleasure to have him here on the podcast. Bill, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here today?
Yeah, I will tell you that if you're serious about your real estate career, I mean, really, if this is something that you want to turn into a business, take what we talked about today with some seriousness. It costs you nothing to investigate a little bit further on how you can, not just have a great real estate business, but have a business life that allows you to have a life. I don't work Sundays. I don't take calls in the evenings. It's been like this for a long time. And it's because we really don't have to unless we want to. And at the same time, we provide the same level of service and do more business. It's because you're not taught how to run your business like a business. If you work for a broker that says you can't do certain things, I've got nothing against that broker, but you might want to make a change, because those businesses are set up to enhance your real estate business, not to keep you from doing what you need to do to reach the success that you want. And what you'll find with this is that the marketing concepts, the direct response marketing, the messages to the marketplace, and then all of marketing has not become easier. It's become more difficult.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
Yeah, because of all of the opportunities that you have to market and the noise out there. You need to learn in marketing how to become the lone voice in the wilderness, if you will. And that's what this does. So look, I gave the number. I'm always up for a conversation. I want to thank Craig. Craig has been, I love the guy. He's been amazing. Him and Catherine are like family. They've been a major part of our business life and our life for this long. And it's a privilege for me to be on with everybody today and to kind of share this. So I want to thank you, Craig, and I look very much to seeing all you guys in Anaheim when we get there.
There you have it, folks. That's the real deal. Bill Watson, your home sold, guaranteed realty in Aurora, Colorado. And if you want to book a call with me and my team, you can go to proctorcall.com. So just my name, Proctor Call, no space, proctorcall.com. You'll see my acuity day timer. You go ahead, book yourself a time. Happy to talk to you about your business. It's not like a big sales pitch or anything. We'd ask you a bunch of questions about where you are now and where it is you want to take your real estate business. And if you find it helpful, we could talk about how we could train you and coach you up on this. And of course, if it's not for you, you can hang up at any time. Yeah. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's great to see everybody. Thank you so much, Bill Watson, for doing this. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in a week in Anaheim, California. And we're going to wrap it up for today. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. Thank you for watching. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.